If we are seeking to value all words, and I maintain that the highest value word is truth, and that it is the most fundamental, and that it proves all and comes around and is by way of it that it proves itself directly. Whereas all other words have to be spoken to by truth of what it is, what it means, what it's saying. But it must come to truth to do such. Truth itself speaks of itself. Nothing else speaks of it. Truth speaks all other words. Nothing else speaks of it. If you give me a long row of words and sentences and paragraphs and books, for every step, for every word, for every sentence, every phrase, every part, as you move along, you must verify and validate and have vouch for each step to prove what it's saying. If you're offering that something is the truth, outside of the truth, meaning other words other than truth, other words other than truth are thus speaking of something other than truth, unless those words directly themselves represent truth, but they will be one. Or if they are multiple, there's a combination, then it still must only speak to truth, as truth itself speaks only of itself. So if there's one book which says speak of truth, then we can get rid of all the words within that if ultimately if it's speaking the truth, and that's the best that it can do, is speak the truth. That's the best that it can do. And of course the worst is it can speak a lie. It must, in its true essence, must be attempting to speak the truth. That if it does truth, it must speak of itself. And of itself, you can eliminate all that and come to its pure soul and essence, which is truth. So you need nothing else. You need no other words. All you need to do is come to the holy word. It's truth. Now, if we were to seek to come to understanding, if you say, well, what is truth? Because you challenged me, because I challenged you and said, well, prove that. And you said, well, I have to read further in this book. I said, no, you have to start there. You have to prove there. If you don't go there, more words, meaning more validation, you have to validate each one. If you skip this first word, you get to 100th, you pass all these, and then you're going to try to say this 100th verifies and speaks for this first. But what is speaking of the 100? The 100 still has to be spoken for. And they say, well, it can continue, keep going down, but it still must be spoken for. That which you attempt to use to validate something else still must be spoken for to be validated itself, if it is not truth. Otherwise, truth will validate itself, and it will only be speaking truth, and there's nothing else to be discerned and learned. And if you say, well, show me truth of this, then I smack you. And I say, well, see, the truth is I smacked you. And you pause for a second. And you smack me. And you say, see, the truth is I smacked you, and thus what I said over here is true, because the truth is I smacked you. And I'll say, no, that's not right. For at best, you are speaking the truth. At best. Or at the least, I am. Meaning the very foundation. If the least that I speak is truth, and truth is the highest, then the least, the last is as the first, and the first is as the last. It's not least in true essence and form. What it's saying is, I'm at the beginning and the end. It is one. I'm always at the highest, even at the lowest, because there is no low. In the true essence, there is no high. But if there is a high, it is the most high. And of course, here there is a low. It gets beneath the lowest, because it's only by way of it that the lowest is known.